Hey guys, my name is Olga and I'm happy to see you here in this new video. And today we're gonna have a full face using only Sephora collection, including some new products from this brand. So take a seat and here we go. So we are gonna start our makeup from Best Skin Ever foundation, shade 10N, and I'm gonna apply it using a brush for sure. This particular product, I would say, is not the best for everyone. Oh, the shade is slightly pale, but that's okay. I'm gonna layer a bronzer later on. But it's easy to apply it and it's easy to blend it. Coverage is quite high. I would say that it's average, but you may have it as a full coverage if you layer the product. It wouldn't work for everyone because it's a long-lasting product and at the same time it may emphasize skin texture and dry patches. But in case of oily prone skin, normal skin, this foundation would work. And by the way, currently I have some dryness on my skin and this product emphasizes everything right here and here. And now we are gonna try a concealer. I'm gonna apply it using a brush and I'm gonna start from problematic area. This concealer is quite nice. Coverage is quite high. I would say it's a full coverage concealer. If you need to layer, you can layer it without any questions. You don't really have to use a makeup powder all over it, but I would prefer using it. But if your under eye area is extremely dry, this product is gonna be too dry for you. And it would definitely emphasize some texture, especially during the day, and it may emphasize some dryness. But it's easy to apply it, it's easy to blend it, and you can easily layer it with a concealer applied and without. Now it's time for contour stick and I have it in shade 1. The shade is extremely beautiful and it would work perfectly in case of fair skin or fair to medium, and it's a good contouring shade. And it's easy to apply this product, it's so creamy and soft, just take a look how easy it goes. And I'm gonna grab a brush and for sure I'm gonna apply it using a brush. Pigmentation is around average, but this product needs to be fixed with a makeup powder because it's extremely creamy, and in case of oily prone skin it can't work as it is. So look at it, it's easy to apply it. The shade is a combo of gray, a little bit of brown, and it contains a little bit of pink. Beautiful shade as a contour shade. And now it's time for a bronzer, and I also have shade 1 and I'm extremely impressed by the texture. It's so smooth and creamy and it looks so beautiful. It feels so nicely, and if I didn't know that it's a dry texture, I would probably thought that it's a cream bronzer. So it's so creamy. Gonna apply it for sure using a brush. It's not dusty at all, so just take a look. It looks beautiful, easy to grab a product. Pigmentation, I would say it's quite average. The shade is quite nice, but it wouldn't work again for everyone. If your skin is extremely pale and you have cold undertone, it's probably not the best choice for you. It's easy to apply it and it's easy to blend this particular product. If you wanna layer, why not? You can definitely layer it. So, with a bronzer and without. The shade contains a little bit of red and a bit of orange, but at the same time it's not super orange as it might be in some cases. I like the texture, I like the quality, and I like the shade itself as well. An interesting fact, I have a blush and a highlighter in shade 1 as well. Now it's time for a blush. Taking a brush and let's apply it. The texture here is also quite nice, and it's not dusty at all. At all. It's not a fully matte version. It has a little bit of glow, but not extremely a lot. Pigmentation is between low and average, but you can easily layer the product. Easy to layer, easy to blend. And now it's finally time for the highlighter. I like the product inside, but I deeply hate the packaging. It looks extremely cheap, but the product inside looks more high-end, I would say. Grabbing a little bit and applying. It's quite bright, but it doesn't have a visible makeup base, so it looks beautiful, and if you wanna layer it, you definitely can do it. It doesn't emphasize skin texture if you apply a lot of a product, but as it's quite bright, more you layer, more possibility to emphasize skin texture. But the shade itself is quite nice, it's super golden and looks beautiful on skin. Now it's time to do an eye makeup, and I'm gonna show you 2 new shades from the latest release, and I would say it's more a relaunch of the previous version of single eyeshadows. I have, by the way, several of them and I like them. My top 2 are shade Unicorn Dust and Let's Party. They are slightly duochrome and they are extremely beautiful. Today I'm gonna show you shades 102 and 602. 602 is more a glitter, I would say, and it doesn't have a visible base. Beautiful shade, but you have to apply it all over something because there is no base. And shade 102 is a nice one and it might be used as a base, and it would depend on the way you're gonna apply this particular product and this particular shade, because you may apply it as a topper as well. But from the other side it's slightly dusty. As well, I'm gonna show you 2 shades of eyeliners. I like them, they are perfect, they are long lasting, they are super pigmented, they are creamy, they are soft, so they are amazing. And as a helper palette, I'm gonna use this Beauty. It's a pocket palette shade, which shade it is? Sun Shadows. It's an old version, but still we are gonna use it slightly. So we are gonna start from the middle shade and I'm gonna use it as a base. Grabbing a little bit of a product on a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna add it in the inner corner and slightly in the outer corner as well. The quality is quite nice, it's easy to blend the shadows, but the pigmentation is not super high. You have to layer the product. Now it's time for shade 102. Grabbing a little bit, not really a little bit, a lot of product on a flat brush and applying it all over an eyelid. So you see, you might apply it as a topper, but I need to apply it as a single eyeshadow, so it's better to use a finger in this case and starting applying from the center and slightly blend the edges. Be aware that the product may fall off while being applied. Now it's time to add a little bit of shade 602, grabbing a flat brush, and it's a flat fluffy brush. And I'm gonna add it as a topper. The shade is silver. Simply silver. In the inner corner, I'm gonna add a shade from the palette. Taking a small brush and applying it. Now it's time for a wing. I'm gonna draw it using shade 13, Tiramisu, starting from the outer corner. So just look at it, it's super pigmented and it's super creamy. Taking a brush, slightly grabbing it out in order to have an extremely thin line. Drawing a wing and fill it fully with the eyeliner. And actually I'm gonna smudge the edge slightly. And I'm gonna draw an inner wing as well. And in the waterline I'm gonna add shade 54. Only lashes are left and I'm gonna finish an eye look later on. And now we're gonna try two new formulas, the black one in shade white, the white one in shade 4. And I'm gonna show you swatches of both colors on my lips, and later on I'm gonna use as a finishing look, I'm gonna use shade 4. We're gonna start from shade 5. Black version. Pigmentation is average. It smells quite nicely, I would say. Something sweetie. It smells quite nicely. A bit sweetie. It's easy to apply this product. And it doesn't emphasize anything. The shade itself is quite nice, bright pink, looks beautiful, but not with this eye look. So I'm gonna remove it. And by the way, it's shiny. The formula itself is quite shiny. Now it's time for shade 4. It also smells nicely. A kind of a perfume, I would say. Pigmentation is low. But it reminds me more a lip balm, slightly colored lip balm, but still. It's quite shiny, it's not sticky at all. As you can see, it's quite comfortable to wear it, it's quite nourishing, but it's not super pigmented. And if we compare both versions, they are both shiny. And the only difference would be related to pigment. So this version is more pigmented, this version is less pigmented. Both are shiny, both are nourishing, and I would probably think, and I would probably say that the white version is slightly more nourishing. They smell more or less the same, I would say. Probably this version is more sweetie, but I'm not quite sure about it. Looks quite beautiful, looks quite nice. And now it's time to talk and discuss everything, but before I'm gonna show you an eye look quite closely. Before we start our discussion, let me share with you what I used on my lips today. It's a lip liner from Maybelline shade Dusty Rose and Sephora Collection shade 4. And when you use any products like this, which are slightly shiny, you don't really have to wear a lip gloss because it looks like you wear a lip gloss. Something like this. Okay, and we're gonna start from a foundation. A beautiful foundation which is called Best Skin Ever. It's not the best choice for everyone. So I could say that it's one of the best foundation I've ever tried, but it's not really true. It would work in case of oily prone skin, in case of normal skin, if you don't have any dry patches. If you have any, you would be in trouble. Because this product, this foundation, emphasizes any dryness you have on your skin. It's easy to apply it, it's easy to blend it, coverage is around average and it's close to full coverage. And if you want to layer it, you can definitely layer it. But as soon as you have dry skin, it's not your foundation, you have to use something else. Or you may add this foundation to your general one in order to make it more long-lasting. It is a long-lasting product, you don't really have to apply a powder all over it, but I would suggest using it in case of super oily skin. I wish it wouldn't be that dry, but still, in some cases it would work. In overall, it's okay. I would say it's okay, but it could be a little bit better because I can say that my skin is fully dry, but yes, right now, currently, I do have some dry patches right here and a little bit on my nose. Come on, it's summer, so for sure I have some dryness. And it emphasizes everything I have. Talking about visible pores. No problems actually with them, so no issues with problems, only the main issues is related to dryness on your skin. Yes, it's a long-lasting product. So from one side, yes, from the other side, it won't work for everyone. A concealer, best skin ever. By the way, they also have a glow version of a concealer and a foundation, but I've never tried them, but I probably would like to try them. A concealer, back to our beauty. It's a nice product and it's a full coverage concealer, I could say. You may use it as average coverage, I would say. It would depend how much product you're gonna use. It might be slightly dry in some cases, especially if you have any dry patches again, and in this particular case, the product may emphasize them. But still, it's a nice product, it's easy to blend it, it's easy to apply it, no questions while applying it all over any foundations. I've tried it with several and it worked perfectly, and you can layer this product. And as well, there is no particular need to apply a powder all over it, but it's nice to have, I would say. It shouldn't really crease while wearing, but in some cases it may. Anyway, if we compare a concealer and a foundation, I would say that the concealer is slightly better in my personal opinion. A contour stick in shade 1, a nice product and a nice shade. It's easy to work with it. If you're new to makeup, it's a good start. So if you never tried any cream products, it's a good product to try. It's easy to blend it, it's easy to apply it, pigmentation is around average, and at the same time you may slightly layer this product. It's not a long lasting, so you have to fix it with a makeup powder. If your skin is super oily, it's not a good choice for you. In your case, even if you apply a powder, it may not work. In case of dry prone skin, it's a good choice. Nice shade, and it's really a contour stick. It's not a bronzer at all. The shade itself is quite cold. It contains gray and a little bit of pink, but mainly it contains gray. Beautiful shade, would work in case of fair skin, cold undertone, neutral undertone, and sometimes in case of warm undertone. But I wouldn't suggest using it during summer because when it's too warm, when your skin is tan, it may appear a little bit strange in your case. Now it's time to talk about the bronzer, and I'm extremely impressed. Pigmentation is quite low, but it's okay for a face product. It's easy to work with it, it's easy to blend it, it's easy to layer it, and it would never be like overdone. It would never be too much. Easy to apply it, easy to layer it, and it's slightly creamy. And due to this, it's easy to blend it. and it's a quite long-lasting product. I've already tried it, and probably I will film today how makeup looks by the end of the day. So back to our bronzer, I don't have any questions at all. The shade is also quite nice. For sure it's warm, for sure it contains a bit of red, but it's expected because it's a bronzer and it's not a contour. And by the way, it contains a little bit of orange and it's not super orange. So yes, nice product, and yeah, for sure there is one slight problem with all the products from Sephora collection. The packagings are not the best one. The quality is not that super good, and the worst product from packaging point of view is a highlighter. Packaging here is horrible. Our lovely blush in shade 1. Easy to work with it, easy to blend it, works perfectly with other products, easy to layer it, pigmentation is slightly low. But it's okay, you can easily layer this product. A warning, it's not a matte version, it's a glowing, shiny version, but at the same time it's not super shiny. And it doesn't emphasize skin texture. I don't have any problems and any issues. This particular shade is a combination of pink and peachy. Highlighter, it's a nice product. It's easy to blend it, it's easy to apply it, it looks perfectly on skin, it doesn't emphasize anything, especially if you're applying not a lot of a product. It's quite bright, so if you want to layer it, you can actually layer it, but as soon as you layer more, it may emphasize some skin texture, but it's okay. It happens because it's extremely bright. Moreover, it doesn't have visible makeup bags, and due to this it looks perfectly. From the quality point of view, I would say it's more on high-end side, but the packaging is extremely bad. It's horrible, being honest. If we compare this version to the previous one, I would say that they are quite familiar. More or less the same, but they do have different shades now, but from the behavior side, they are more or less the same. But the packaging in the previous version was far better, being honest. Now it's time to move to our lovely eyes, and we are gonna start from the eyeliners. They are amazing, they are the best, they are super creamy. It's easy to apply them, it's easy to blend them, they are long-lasting because they are gel-based and you can easily work with them. I don't have any questions. They are highly pigmented and really, it's a beautiful product, and if you never tried any of them, please try. They're worth it. And they are nice, and I suggest buying these two shades because they are good for daily makeup looks. Now it's time to talk quickly about the palettes. Well, in overall, they're quite nice. The quality is okay. If we talk about matte shades, in most of the cases they are not super pigmented, but it's easy to work with them. It's easy to blend them. They work perfectly together and you can layer them easily. If we talk about metallic glitters and so on, they are nice. In the previous version, they were slightly dry. For instance, here they are slightly dry, but in the new versions, they are far better. If we talk about single eyeshadows, they made a good job. They had nice products. So I have 3 shades from the previous collection before everything was redone, and they were quite nice. They were quite creamy, beautiful shades. They weren't super bright, but at the same time you could layer them. After relaunch, well, they are still quite good, but I would suggest using shade 602. It's a glitter, yes, it's a topper. It looks beautiful on the eyelid, and during the day this product doesn't fall off, and no issues while applying. Talking about shade 102, well, I'm not super impressed. It's slightly dry and it's slightly dusty, and it's not that easy to apply it using a brush, so you have to use your finger and it may fall off while being applied. So be careful while doing it. It looks quite beautiful on the eyelid. It doesn't fall off during the day. So from one side I like it, from the other one I wish they changed the formula slightly. But it looks beautiful on the eyelid. Moving to the lips, and we are gonna discuss our last products for today. I like both formula, but they are slightly different. The black version is more pigmented, and if you want to have a lipstick which is slightly shiny, choose this formula. If you want to have a kind of a lip balm, not super pigmented version, then choose the white one. They're quite beautiful on the lips. They are quite nourishing. You don't feel dryness while wearing them. They look quite shiny and they don't emphasize skin texture. So they are quite beautiful, and choose your color correctly. I would prefer, in my case, the white version, because simply I made a wrong choice when I was choosing the black version, because I expected, being honest, that it wouldn't be that bright, but unfortunately it's a bright pink, and in my case I just simply don't really like that super bright colors on the lips, and that's it. But the formulas are beautiful. So it was our last product for today, and let's take a look how our makeup will look in several hours. Almost 8 hours later, and it's time to check how everything works. As you can see, the blush, the sculptor, the bronzer, and the highlighter are still in place, so everything looks perfectly. Foundation, our lovely foundation. Well, it looks quite nice, but there are some places where I have some questions, and mainly it's related to some dryness, but still it looks perfectly. It's a long-lasting product. Eye makeup. Eyeliners, perfect, no questions. Matte eyeshadows, no questions. Our lovely glitters. They were here, and currently I do have a little bit more in my under eye area, so it doesn't look that super. Lip products, they are amazing. Please let me know down below what do you think about these products, and have you tried them already or not. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if yes, please don't forget to put a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. I wish you a pleasant day and a pleasant evening actually. So thank you for watching this video and see you soon in the next one. Bye bye!